Hello, everybody. Welcome to CIO Leadership Live. I'm Kirat Attar, Associate Editor at Foundry, and I will be your host for this episode. Our guest today is Irshad Sefi. Uh, Hello. Irshad, could you please tell us a little bit about Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas and Co. and your role and your responsibility as the CDIO of the organization?
Sure, Kiran. Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me to this very themed show. I would say that Foundry is driving. So it's an honor for me to be here. Um, as a firm, we are India's leading full service law firm, which is renowned for its services and experience in handling complex corporate legal matters, which spans across practice areas such as corporate, commercials, litigation, arbitration, banking, and finance. And my role as a director of IT and digitization of the firm, it basically involves into the spearheading the integration of cutting edge technologies, managing the cybersecurity, ensuring that the innovation remains at the forefront for the firm, enhancing the efficiency of the processes, um, making sure that our lawyers are more productive and more efficient on whatever that they do on a day-to-day basis. Securing the data is very important for us as a firm. So that's also part of one of the key lever that I drive. I'm also responsible for developing and implementing digital strategies and the roadmaps, which basically transform the way we deliver legal services and ensuring our firm remains at the forefront of the industry. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much, Ishad. It is our pleasure as well to have you with us. And a lot of key points that you actually touched in your introduction itself, digital strategy and the roadmap of your firm. Hopefully, in the questions that I have for you, we'll be able to touch upon all of them, a little bit.
Sure.
Uh, Getting right into it, could you share some insights as to how technology and innovation are reshaping the legal industry in India? Because I guess from my perspective, technology and legality sometimes seems to be a little bit far apart from each other. So if you could tell me how they are connected and how is your organization in particular leveraging the technological advancements that are taking place to provide more cutting edge legal solutions?
Sure. Kirat, let me start with maybe a few years back. I think after pandemic, I don't think there is any industry which is disconnected from the technology.
That's very
All the
true.
industries, whether those have been the advanced one or the traditional ones, they're all getting operated via the technologies. Technologies have been there into these organizations and the firms for a very, very long time. It's just that the importance of the technology has further elevated because of the way this pandemic has reshaped the entire world. So, in our domain and the legal sector as well, whether it is globally or in the country, tech and innovation plays a very key role, and it is revolutionizing the complete sector in specifically in India by streamlining the processes, enhancing the accessibility, workflows, automation, and as well as improving the client services. At our firm, we actually leverage advancements such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, and we uses these technologies to optimize the way our lawyers work, whether they are working in the research, whether they are doing the document creation, document review, the case management, presenting it to the client, and all of that. So basically, these technologies enables us as a
Yeah.
firm to provide the precise, efficient, and timely legal solutions to our clients. Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't plan to ask this, but I should. How has the response been? Like, are there any very obvious benefits that you see, like time reduction, cost reduction, and also how is it being received by your clients? A greater technological intervention.
Well, yeah. So every technology has got a purpose, and the purpose
True.
is definitely when things goes about manual that comes into the system, it has its own advantages. Uh, but all of these advanced technologies, they have even a greater purpose, which is to increase the efficiency and doing the time reduction. So if a particular process was taking, say, X hours, clearly it should get done in lesser number of hours.
Lesser
So,
number of hours. Yeah.
yeah, so increasing the efficiency and productivity is always the core of whatever we do. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Um, given that the digital landscape is evolving, frankly, at a pace more rapid than even one can wrap their head around it, how do you envision the digital transformation of legal services at your organization? And what are some of the strategies that you have in place to meet the evolving needs of your clients? Because I'm sure those are changing as well.
Yeah, I agree. So look, what I'm and as a firm, what we envisage is that the legal services are transforming. They are being more accessible and transparent and becoming more efficient. So our strategy basically involves adapting the client-centric approach. B, the approach to ensure that, as I said, increasing the efficiency and productivity of our lawyers. um, we also highly believe in the design thinking approach. So whatever we do, we make sure that we are applying the design thinking principle to really get the maximum of those initiatives. We try and utilize the technology wherever we can automate the routine tasks, be it the conventional technology or the advanced technologies. We are also investing in the advanced legal tech solutions, including artificial intelligence. And the other thing is that when you invest in these technologies, implement these technologies, the key is how your people are coming along and you're taking them along with these technologies. So, which is where the continuous learning and development programs to ensure that our professionals are equipped with the latest technology skill sets is a very key. And that's what it actually helps us to meet the dynamic needs of our clients. Thanks.
Thank you. When you said legal tech and AI and legal tech, just off the top of my head, is there one use of AI that has been truly mind blowing from your perspective? That you couldn't even believe that technology could do that in legal space, and it has done it.
Well, if I take the example of, let's say, non-AI, so as you have seen during the pandemic, the courts were operating online. Now,
Yes,
imagine if those technologies were not available when the pandemic struck.
that's very true.
Those courts would not have functioned.
They would not have functioned. Yeah.
So now A is that the traditional courts, now there are technologies and there are solutions available. And also there are a lot of institutions who are actually going and embracing and promoting the technologies like alternate dispute resolution, which
Okay.
basically means all the disputes that needs to happen between the two corporates. They do not need to necessarily go to the arbitration centers, but that entire process can happen online, right? From filing the complaints to appointing the arbitrator to awarding the contract. The entire process can happen online.
That's revolutionary.
That is revolutionary. And now with the help of artificial intelligence, or predominantly the generative artificial intelligence. So for legal sector, when we talk about Gen AI, it basically has multiple verticals. So it has got the text verticals wherein you feed certain data, train some data, and basis that data, the generative AI goes and understand it and then provides the response. The other
True.
is the image. The third is the video, and like that on. So for legal industry, the first vertical of the text really plays a key role, and I think we
Correct.
will have a lot of use cases. We do see a lot of use cases of generative AI for the legal sector. It's just that at this point of time, there is a lot of hallucination in all of these models, because of which people are really little hesitant to not use it fully. But the day I think all of these hallucination is removed, the models are more confident to go and use it, I think we will have a lot of use cases.
So you're expecting there to be a jump in people's acceptance of the technology and also the technology's ability to do better, because I'm sure that is going to happen in many sectors.
Yeah. We are hoping for it.
Yep. One of the things that I was thinking about when we were about to sit for the interview is that this legal space in India or maybe everywhere may seem like like a traditional space because it's related to documents, people argue in courts, which is all, I think it was technology agnostic till a certain point. So implementing technology in traditional spaces like the legal space can be challenging. So are there any obstacles that you've experienced or that Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas and Co, the company, has experienced in integrating legal digital solutions in the legal space? And how have you overcome maybe some of these challenges to ensure a smoother transition?
Sure. So, Kirat, let me take a step back, and I think I have tried answering this question in many forums, including the IDG, where I was invited as a keynote.
Yeah.
So, if we look at the technology stack, be it a legal, be it, so I've had the opportunity to work with manufacturing, pharmaceutical,
Yes, ma'am.
BFSI, and all. If we were to look at the tech stack, um, the infrastructure, whether we are implementing or deploying the infrastructure in legal industry versus pharmaceutical versus any other industry, that remains the same. It's just that the volume and size and the complexity changes. When we talk about cybersecurity, again, pretty much the same. In legal industry, it is even more serious because anything and
True.
everything is highly super confidential and sensitive.
Yeah.
The third is the business applications. Again, the business applications remains pretty much the same. So the way HRMS functions in, say, a manufacturing versus pharmaceutical versus legal firm, again, the application might change, but predominantly the solution will remain the same. Similar case is for the CRM, the ERP. Again, in ERP, in manufacturing, we will have more modules. In legal, we will have lesser. But the tech stack remains the same. The only thing that gets changed is the industry specific application. So if, say, when I was working for previous manufacturing companies, there would be a lot of R&D specific and
Specific to
manufacturing
the
specific
space.
applications.
Yeah.
Those would be there and their applications. Likewise, I'll have to actually go learn that experience, translate that back to into the legal forms, and then see how that experience can be applied onto some of these legal specific applications. So that's
True.
the only portion which is about 10 to 20% that remains, that gets changed. Otherwise, everything else remains pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the deployment and the success of these technologies, I think the again the common challenge that everybody faces, and why I'm able to see this is because I have worked in multiple industries
Across domains. Yeah.
across. It's always been the adoption. I think as long as you are able to put the business case very well to your top management,
Yeah.
and if they are buying the technology, buying the business problems, and buying the solution of it, then you are able to implement it. That's not a problem. The only challenge then comes is the change management and the adoption. That's where I think all of these industry best practices um, and the frameworks that people do learn in the life and the experience that they have pertaining to it really comes in a play. And people will have to actually go and use all of that experience to make sure that they are able to successfully do a change management and continues. And adoption is not something that we implement the technology and tomorrow it will be adopted. It's a continuous process that actually
Absolutely.
takes a lot of time for,
Time.
depending on the complexity of the application and the use case of the application. It really takes a lot of time and effort. Now, in legal industry, I would say that effort is little more than the manufacturing and
In
others,
the
but
yeah.
pretty much the stack remains the same.
Yeah. Correct. So that actually makes a lot of sense that there is no one cookie cutter answer. Oh, it's easy. There's no obstacle. There is an obstacle, and the obstacle is adoption. But yeah, that really helps. And you said that in legality things just become a touch more complicated because everything is sensitive and everything is confidential. That actually leads me very organically into my question about. I think if cyber threat exists in the legal industry, it is far more. It could cause a lot more damage than certain other industries. And given that there's increasing prevalence of cyber threats, cyber crimes, identity theft, you name it, how does Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas and company prioritize and address cybersecurity concerns in legal practice? And what measures do you have in place to safeguard client data and maintain confidentiality?
Sure. So, look, firstly, we operate with zero trust. And that's in our DNA. We really make sure that zero trust is applied everywhere. And the implementation of the cybersecurity is actually part of our comprehensive roadmap, which has been there for ages. We continue to go and revive that roadmap. This is the landscape that is changing in the outer world. Um, and the essence of all of this is to really make sure that we are safeguarding the client data and maintaining the confidentiality and integrity of it. The measures that we take are basically be it the advanced encryption, the multi-factor authentication, the advanced sophisticated technologies to protect us from advanced threats, be it XDR, MDR. We also perform regular security audits from the external parties to know what are the threats that we have and go and address them. We do monitor our infrastructure and application landscape 24 into 7.
True.
Additionally, the most important thing is, um, as you know, a lot of research reveals that majority of the attacks that we are seeing for the last couple of years, they are actually coming via the human. These are not really
Human
people are
error
able to
has,
penetrate.
yeah,
Yeah. So all of these ransomware and everything else comes via the human. So we emphasize a lot on providing a very sophisticated cybersecurity training that we have developed for our staff and our members. And
okay.
as part of the induction, it is mandatory for everybody to go and attend that training and clear the exam there, which basically is a very simple cybersecurity training program that we have, which even a layman person can understand it, and it covers all of the our policies and cybersecurity standards. So which allows us to ensure that everyone is vigilant and
Yeah.
informed about potential threats. Because our commitment is to maintain the highest standard of data security that helps us to build and preserve the client trust. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Irshad. That really helps understand your, like you said, your commitment to maintaining confidentiality, data privacy, and to make sure that you're doing everything on your part, that there is no transgression. That also brings me to the end of my interview. Thank you so much, Irshad, for being so candid, and for explaining everything that the organization is doing to both step into a new era, marrying technology and legality, two things that happen to have a lot of influence over people, and maintaining the integrity that Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas and Co is known for. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Kirat. It was my pleasure to be on this call. I truly appreciate again. Thank you so much for inviting me. And it was such a great pleasure to have you again interacted with some of these very crucial items of today's time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all our viewers for watching. Until the next episode, this is Kirat signing off from another episode of CIO Leadership Live.